What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project, the HKS kit, Toyota Supra. This is the wide body version by Lit, looking insane. We got it from the auction house. It's got almost no mileage on it, 8,211 kilometers. It's in a really bad condition with that frame only down at 1% and everything else below 50, so it's all pretty low in there. Did we get a good deal on this one? We didn't, but not by much. 58,851 is what I paid for it, and I could sell it for 57,706, only losing out on 1,145, which isn't bad. Pretty confident we can claw that back. Just need to win a drag tournament, or at least win a couple of races, and we'll be able to claw that back instantly. Anyway, this one does have in it the 2JZ engine, the i6 double overhead cam BU2 a turbo engine. I do like a turbo engine, but only 661 of factory horsepower on this one. So we've got some tuning parts to add today. Hopefully get that one up quite considerably and get some good runs and good times on the speeder board. This is today's project. It is, well, it's missing quite a lot. It looks like there is almost no engine in there at all, but everything underneath is looking pretty good. I can't believe there's a zero engine in there, but it's not too bad the rest of the way around. A lot of the body parts are there. You know, you've got these wide fenders. Hopefully we can repair them a bit later. So it's not looking too bad, but we need to get started regardless. So let's get this one over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up and ready to strip everything down. Here we are then in the car wash. Let's get her cleaned. We can see she's red. She won't be staying red, I'm afraid. We don't have many liveries for this one. In fact, I don't think there's any really usable ones in there, so we're going to be picking a good colour to go for this one today. Let's get the interior done, get it back on the lift, and start stripping everything out. Obviously, we don't have the engine, so that's pretty easy. We just need to build that one back up. But back to the lifter and start tearing it down. Well, there was no engine, so we don't need to check for the oil pan, but let's just go and see what we have got and what is missing. Obviously, we know the engine's missing. I need to go and build that one. But we're missing all of this. There's quite a lot. Wishy-washy, power steering, air filter, brake servo, ECU, coolant reservoir, 3 radiators, and a small intercooler down there as well. We've got the fuse box up here and a battery and fuel tank down the back. The wheels are all on, so that's a good sign for the suspension. That all looks complete and in pretty good condition, in all honesty. But the engine bay completely missing absolutely everything. So we need to get all of that sorted. I'll get all of this added to my basket. Make sure we've got everything. Get everything stripped down and start working on that engine. Then when we come back, we'll work on the beautiful bodywork for this Supra before we head over to the paint shop and pick the colour we're going to go for this beautiful little machine today. That's everything repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back on. Plus, we built a brand new engine ready to go in the lovely Supra. But we need to sort the bodywork out, so let's start stripping it down. Off with the hood, out with these headlights. That's a fender there. We'll get you. Windscreen? No windscreen. Quarter panel? Nothing on there. Rear fender. We'll grab that whole trunk piece in one go if we can. Spoiler and all. Car part 6, out you come. Lovely little parcel shelf there. Some built-in speakers, looking pretty sweet. Round we go, out with that fender there, and that looks to be everything. We'll jump inside and grab the interior. Out you come, and out you come. And let's see if we got everything. Nothing on there, that's definitely good, and 1% on there. Absolutely fantastic. Does look like we got everything. Frame is down at 1%, and I bought the car for nearly 60k. So I'm going to say this is going to be, I'm going to say 1,500. 2,925, still way off, cannot get them. Let's jump into the body shop and see what comes with the Supra GR. Now, ours today is the HKS wide body, so we'll be sticking with all of these labelled HKS, as you can see them on their door panel. Side skirts again. Excellent job, but this is modded in by Lit, hence we got the Lit editions. But all the part thumbnails are done by Rob G, so thank you for that, making it very easy for us to figure out which ones we want. We're going for the HKS, so we need to keep an eye out for all of them pieces. There's HKS front bumper, door panels, hat rack. Oh, that's the parcel shelf. Parcel shelf, yes. So we could put a roll cage, but we're probably just going to put the parcel shelf back in. Black or red interior, need to pick that. HKS or wide body stuff there, and the front bumper. Lights to play around with, so we can mess around, see which one with them. We can also have blacked out or painted mirrors, I believe that is. Not 100% on that. Wide body hood, specifically need that one. And the HKS rear bumper with the massive spoiler, we're definitely going to be going for that one today. That's pretty much all of it. There isn't much to this one. pretty simple. Ours will probably be going back together as it came apart, shy of maybe changing the headlights and stuff like that. But we're keeping the HKS wide body, so I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll see you in a minute. I'm pretty confident I've got everything bought and repaired, ready to go back on the bodywork. So let's get into it, starting with the hood there. The wide body HKS hood, in you go, and the wide body HKS front bumper. Swapped it to the Heritage tinted lights, the D lights. I just think they look pretty sweet in there, pretty mean looking. On we go around. We did manage to repair this fender, but the other side we did have to buy a new one. We didn't have it, so there we go. In you go. Let's get the door on. Now with these doors, I went for the black interior. I do have a colour theme in mind. We'll cover that in a bit. On with the carbon mirror there, because I sort of going to go with my theme. And in with the windows. Now with this one here, you do have a door panel. We do have the HKS wide body part, so we can throw that one on there, along with the wide body side skirt and rear fender there, looking pretty mean. Let's get the other side up to the same level. In we go. In we go. In we go. On with the mirror, and then in with that door panel. In you go there, looking good. We need to get in and get this part here, car part 6, which is the hat rack, or a parcel shelf as we call it in the UK. Then we'll get the trunk on, we'll get the window in. We do have the little ducktail spoiler just on here, but we do also have the main spoiler that comes with the wide body HKS rear bumper, looking awesome. And the rear lights, we went with the Heritage tinted lights at the back as well. Keep in line with the front, looking pretty sweet. The license plate today, we've got HKS Supra on my virtual mechanic plates on there. Looking pretty sweet. That should be everything apart from the windshield. Let's throw you in. I went for the one with the stripe, although we struggled with seeing out of it last time. We'll see if it's the same on this one here. Is that everything for the bodywork? I think so. Let's get the interior in. Now I have swapped my interior. We're going for something a bit different again. So we've got steering wheel tent in here. I say a bit different again. You saw these recently, but they look so good. I've gone back to the Vantage seats. Hopefully they're going to come out looking awesome. And they do still sort of fit just in their original colour. Depends what colour scheme we go with for the rest of the build. Is that everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely fantastic. Let's get this HKS wide body Supra over to the paint shop and see what we're going to do with it today. As I said, there isn't really any liveries that come with the Supra. There's one, a Black Panther joke sort of one with Black Panther's face on the hood and a little logo on the door, but we're not going to go for that, obviously. So we're just going to go for this solid white. It's a slightly adjusted solid white colour. I've taken all the metalness out of it and put the other two around 50 each if you want to try and match that. It is a very, very bright, but it looks absolutely awesome. And in there, it's very white and a bit of black. So we're going to go with a black and white build on this one today. Hopefully looking awesome. We've also gone for a bit of white coverage on our Vantage seats there. You've still got the black stripe down the middle and a bit on the outside, and a bit of black and white on our steering wheel. Looking sweet. We've also put the windshield piece as black there so it doesn't stay too white, and that's why we went with carbon mirrors. Looking absolutely awesome. Plenty of black, plenty of white on the outside of this. I'm feeling like this one's going to have black rims today, but I'm not sure. That's something we'll deal with a little bit later on. That engine, well, I'm just going to have to play around with it because there's a lot of metal parts on it and they don't always paint white very well. Plus, the plastic parts sometimes don't paint at all. So we're just going to have to see what happens when we come to it. But hopefully it's going to look absolutely incredible. That's what we're going for. Black and white looking awesome on this wide body HKS Supra. Let's get it back on the lift. I need to get everything painted and then we can start getting everything back together. Hopefully this one looks sweet. That's everything painted, ready to go back on our white wide body Supra. Looking pretty good. Let's get the shocks together. We've got black shocks, white springs, and a black cap. Looking pretty sweet on there. Quite pleased with that. Off you come. Let's start assembling all of this. Then we'll start with, just up here, the small intercooler, just in black. Can't get these to go white because they just go that metallic-y colour. So it's either silver, as in white, or black on this build here. So we went with black on them. Sadly, the radiators are all the same, but we will come to that in a bit. Front suspension cross members in a white, along with the sway bar and the steering rack. Don't know why I'm so close in. Let's move away a little bit. Then we got an inner tie rod in the black, the knuckle in a white, and the outer tie rod also in a black on there. Looking pretty good. Let's just get the bushings in so we don't forget them. In you go, and in you go over there. And then we've got the lower suspension arm just in a little black, looking pretty sweet. Nicely done. Nice little separation of the colours there. And then the shock, obviously, black, white, black. Although the springs are incredibly compressed, so you can't see the white springs very much. And the sway bar end link just in black because it doesn't go white. Again, because of the metallicness of it. The knuckle cover in a black there, that could have been white, but I wanted it in black. The wheel hub couldn't go white, so we just got that one in a lovely little black there. Hub bearing, brake disc. The wheel hub caps in a white as well. And then brake pads. And then for the brake caliper, it's not black or white. I've gone for red. I've gone back to my red, and we've chromed it as well to make it stand out just that little bit more a little bit later on. That should look pretty epic in mostly black and white. That's pretty much the only splash on here. Obviously, all four wheels, but there we go. Let's move down the back. The rear suspension and cross member in a white there, and we scoot over to the knuckle, which is also in a white. In with the rubber bushings so that we don't forget them. 1 and 2 just up there. Nicely done. And then we've got a sway bar just up here in a black. So you got the black on the white, looking pretty good. And if we just nip down here, we've got a small rubber bushing to go in. And then the rear suspension arm A, which is in a black. All of the central arms are in black. So let's just get them in. In you go there. And then down to the other side. We got another one down here. Oh, can't click on it. There we go. In you go. Looking pretty nice. Black into white, looking good. Shock absorber is in a black there. It's just what it turned out. It looked pretty good. And then this side arm just in the white, keeping that white rolling. In with the bushing. And let's get this spring together. The cap in the white, opposite to the front with the spring in the black. And then the cap at the top also in a white, looking pretty good. Sway bar end link in black, because it has to be. Then we've got the wheel hub on there, and then the actual main part of the wheel hub in a black. Same as the front there, with the hub bearing in, and then we've got brake disc. Drive axles in a black going through the middle, sort of fitting in with that middle black theme there. And then the brake pad, and then the brake caliper in that lovely chrome red that we've already seen. Looking fantastic. Very pleased with that. Now, this one here doesn't have any exhausts running through the middle. The exhausts are built into the bodywork. They're on that rear bumper. Fuel tank in a white, and then a fuel pump in a black. So yeah, we haven't had to colour any exhaust going through the middle of this one because it doesn't exist today. So I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this all finished off. Then we'll move on to get that engine bay all sorted out before we go and build that beautiful 2JZ engine. I shall see you in just a little while. Very contemporary and a modern looking in a black and white with a tiny splash of red just on the brake calipers there. Looking pretty sweet, but that's not what we're here for. We need to get this engine bay all sorted out, so let's jump up. We'll start with the power steering reservoir and the wishy-washy reservoir in there. Then we got the air filter base, which is a black, in with the air filter, on with the cover. And then we've got some lovely little white clips just to go on this to finish it off. Nip around to the other side. In we go, and in we go. Looking pretty good on there. The radiators are all just black, and none of them have a fan housing kit. In you go, and in you go there. Looking pretty sweet against the front. Jump up a little bit. We got a brake servo, the ECU Type A performance. In you go. And a coolant reservoir. That's everything in the front. If we just nip down just a little bit here, we got the fuse box base. And the rest of that fuse box is all in white. And then our battery just down the back here. And that's everything for the internal components. We just got to go and build that. Oh, no, we missed something. The ABS pump hiding in there, just in a little black. I thought I was missing something, and a lovely little black module just on the top there. That's all of it now, apart from the engine, which we are going to go build in just a couple of moments. I just need to not be able to see what's going on inside this fuse box and then get it all filled up. So I'm going to crack on with this, and then we will go and build that 2JZ. I'll see you in just a minute. Let's get this turbocharged i6 ready to go. We've got the block in a black, the oil pan in a white, and the engine head in a black as well. I've left this one on just because there's a lot of bolts. Nobody wanted to see me just bolt it up. So let's move on up a little bit. In fact, let's just start off down here. We got the water pump just in a little white. In you go, looking pretty cool. The alternator can't go white, so it had to go black, sadly. It's too metallic-y to go white. And the power steering pump in a little white just down there. Now, I did want this oil filter in white, but it doesn't work. So we just blacked it out. It does go white on the rim, but this stays blue. And we didn't really want that. It didn't fit the build. Water pump pulley just in here on a black. We've got more to go in down the front, which we will come to a little bit later on. But first off, we need to get all of the innards sorted. So on here, we've got camshafts. We've got cam gears on the front. Lots of camshaft caps, 14 in total. Plus all the spark plugs, plus ignition coils on top there. So I'm going to get all of that in, and I'll be back in just a couple of moments. There we go. That's that all in and ready to go. Let's move back and around. We need to get the front all finished off. So let's get the serpentine belt in. Just blacked out there. We've got a little idle roller just blacked out down there. And then we've got 2 covers to go on the top. Both covers are in black. Sadly, it's the plastic that only paints if you want to chrome it. And I didn't want to chrome it. So we just went black on these to keep it reasonable. Crankshaft pulley also wouldn't go white, so it had to stay black. And the idle rollers are just in black as well. Then we've got a serpentine belt blacked out. We have a white belt tensioner to go in there. And you guessed it, it's a white fan just to finish off the front of the engine. Looking pretty smart. Let's get on up a little bit. We've got engine head covers to go in. They are in the white. Of course they are, because the top piece is black and plastic and wouldn't go white. So we had to keep it in the black. So let's get these in and see what it looks like once we throw that black piece on the top. There we go. That's not bad. In fact, that's pretty good. I'm quite pleased with that. Looking smart. Very nice. We've got a fuel filter up here just in the white as well. And then the, oh, if I could click on it, the intake manifold in a lovely white on there as well. Looking pretty special. On we go, on we go. We've got a fuel rail just tucked in just under there. We've kept that one in white as well. And then we've got a black throttle just to finish that off there. Looking pretty smart. Nicely done. And if we nip around to the other side, the exhaust manifold's in a white and a last bolt every time. And I've done something pretty special for the turbos. It took me a little bit of figuring out. We'll just get it on that the turbocharger is in a black chrome, but it's got white sleeves on it. They look fantastic. What I did for that is I went into the Force Chrome station on the Quality of Life mod there. Instead of forcing it chrome or no chrome, you've got Chrome Option 1. Chrome Option 1 covered everything black, apart from the little red pieces that they are normally. They stayed in a lovely little white, and I think that looks fantastic, including a few little bits down here as well. Really came out great. It looked amazing, but that's the engine built. I need to now grab some pictures of this beautiful engine. I'm very, very pleased with this one, and then get it dropped into our stunning white on black Toyota Supra just out there, ready to go outside, ready to go on the dyno, ready to hit another drag strip. Let's get this beautiful black and white engine dropped into our Supra and ready to go. Now, I will say one thing. One thing I've left off the body config of this one is I haven't included the engine cover. It is supposed to have one. I just went in and edited the config file and removed it because I didn't want it on there. I wanted to see my beautifully painted engine. So let's get it in. In you go. Looking good. Away you go. And let's check it out. Oh, that black and white looks fantastic. And you've also got a tiny splash of the red sticking out through them ignition coils, matching into the brake calipers on there. But that looks insane. Very, very pleased with that in the black and white. I couldn't have asked for that to turn out any better. But let's get underneath. We got a gearbox, a drive shaft. And I think that's just it. Actually, I want a starter to go in. So let's get you in. Up we go to the gearbox in a white just off of there. Looking beautiful. Stand out as much as you can. Starter also in a white there, but it's got black bits on it, so it fits in. And then the drive shaft is just in a black, going from the black gearbox, white gearbox, sorry, into the white rear end. Looking pretty smart on there. That's it. Just need to get some liquids topped up, pick some wheels. They are probably going to be black. Probably have some white writing on them though, hopefully. But that's going to look pretty sweet. So I'll get all of that done, and then we'll get this car outside in the sun, all finished off. Here we are then, all finished with a lit wide body Toyota Supra, done in a lovely black and white. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with this one. Looking so good. Let's check out that engine in its black and white color combination. I think that looks absolutely fantastic, with a tiny splash of the red just showing through there as well. And then all the suspension underneath in black and white. It does look so good. I am very, very pleased with it. Let's talk about these rims. These are the Rim Modern 2B, black and white. We've got the black center hubs there and the white all the way around the outside, with our lovely chrome red brake calipers sticking through the middle. Front rims here, these are a 20-inch rim with a 255 width and a 30 profile. They also have ET of 50 on them to bring them all the way out to the car. They're looking fantastic. Down the back, again, it's a 20-inch rim with a width of 305 on these rear ones, a 30 profile and an ET of 80 back here. Still looking absolutely fantastic. We haven't had a look in the trunk. Let's get that open. Not much in there, just that parcel shelf underneath. Behind, we've got some speakers, but let's jump inside and check out my beautiful interior. Gone for the Vantage seats. They look so good in black and white with the black stripes. Just wish it did say Vantage, a bit of a shame. And then our steering wheel, black and white painted on there as well. Beautiful interior by Lit. We have seen this one before. Loving the screen with his name on it there, looking beautiful. But let's get this one started and see what it sounds like. We've all heard this one a couple of times recently, actually, but let's give it some gas anyway. Do love a good old turbo whistle at the top end. This engine. It sounds cool. It's got the turbo whistle, but let's get it on the dyno, see what horsepower we've got today and what this one's drag rating is. Here we are then on the dyno with the wide body HKS Toyota Supra. 661 factory horsepower from that inline 6 turbocharged engine. How much have we added today with our performance parts and what is our drag rating? Let's have a look. A gain of 460 horsepower. Might not sound like a lot, but at 70%, it is pretty good. Taking us just over 1,000 at 1,120 horsepower with a drag rating of A875. Not quite the A999 we're used to, but very, very close. That should hopefully give us a bit of a difference in the opponents we come up against this time on the drag strip. But let's head over to the gearbox tuning setup and take a look at that. There it is. I've gone for a 2.35 ratio, 101 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to 489 in sixth. Pretty confident we won't quite get all the way up there, but we should still get a decent time and speed on that one. Already got our ECU fully tuned, no carburetor on this one, so let's get into it. Let's get over to the drag strip. Let's enter a tournament. Here we are then, back at the Juneway Stripe Raceway with our Toyota Supra wide body. King of the Sands tournament, 1 mile and A-class as we're still in there. Pay our 1,000 entry fee. And our first race is against the truck fan. Thank you, dude. It's nice to finally see you in here in a McLaren F1 wide body. Please tell me you're joking me. That is ridiculous. I don't know if we're going to beat that. We also have another wide body and the Pagani Zonda Revolution up there. Who else have we got down here? Country Thang, nice to see you in the Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak. King Slowpoke in the open wheel racer, nice. Couple of open wheel racers, some Fiesta Gymkhanas, some good competition. Just the one unicorn this time, but let's get into it. Can we beat the truck fan in his McLaren F1 wide body? God, that McLaren F1 wide body looks so good. I cannot wait to build that one. I'm genuinely excited for. Just need to find one in the junkyard or the bad auction house. Both in white as well, white on white. Who's going to win at this battle? Hopefully, it's our wide body Supra. So let's get inside. Let's go. Off the line, into second. Come on, little Supra. Into third. Whoa, looks like we pulled away quicker. Into fourth. Are we going to hold out, though, and beat that McLaren F1 wide body? Into fifth gear. I wonder if we're going to beat it. What are we going to cross the line at? Is this going to be a good first run? I cannot wait to find out. Into sixth gear before we cross the line at 379 kilometers an hour. That looked like it was indeed. And we beat the McLaren F1 wide body A853 for the drag rating. Bit surprised by that. But a 9.281 to the quarter of a mile at 263 kilometers an hour with a 22.358 to the 1 mile at 379, beating out the F1 McLaren by just a little bit. Not too much, not too bad, but we did manage to win. Let's see who's next. I apologise, truck fan, for beating you in your first appearance on the drag strip, but it is what it is. Our next opponent is against the Pagani Zonda Revolution. And who else have we got? Country Thang still in there with his Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak. And King Slowpoke still in with the open wheel racer. I'm liking that. A few different opponents. Let's get into it and see if we can build what we built last time with the Pagani Zonda Revolution. Doesn't quite look as good as ours in the matte blue, but them rims look bronze and they should definitely be gold. But it looks pretty sweet nonetheless. Can we beat the Pagani Zonda Revolution? Let's go. Off the line, we got out of the trap, into second, into third. Oh, this could be a tough one. Into fourth, we're pulling away now. That looks all right. And I'm pretty confident that Pagani tops out. Yeah, it looks like it's gone, and we've got this one in the bag. Will it be better than our first run? Let's cross the line. Let's find out. Come on, that little Supra, you can do it. Into sixth, and across the line at 379, it looked like again. It was indeed with a 9.429. Not as good as our first run at 9.281 and a 22.536. Again, not quite as good as our first run. Let's get into the next one. I like this already because now we're against a different opponent again. The Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak looking pretty good. And if we win, we're up against either the McLaren F1 widebody or the Gymkhana 3. Sadly, Country Thang and King Slowpoke, you are both out. But let's get into it and see if we can beat the Pikes Peak Fiesta. Incredibly wild looking, the Pikes Peak Fiesta. Looking pretty good with a big old wing on the back. Not the one we're aiming for. We want the Ken Block one. That's what we're going to be working on very, very soon. But let's see if we can beat this one down the drag strip. You're designed for Pikes Peak. We're just a wide-body Supra, so let's go. Off the line. I'm still happy about that every time it happens. Into second, into third. Where are you? You're already falling behind. That's what I'm happy with. Way off in the distance. Into fourth gear. Come on into fifth. Are we going to beat our first run? I'd definitely like to. I'd like to get sub 9 seconds. I don't quite see it with this car myself, but it would be cool if we could get there. Into sixth and across the line. Ooh, did we get a slightly higher top speed? No, it was still 379. Must have just ticked over to 380 just as we passed through, but we beat it. The Pikes Peak Fiesta. Still not quite as good as our first run with a 9.388 and a 22.47 to the 1 mile. Still with the same top speed at 379. Out you go, Ford Fiesta Pikes Peak. You were not good enough to beat us. Into the final. Let's see who we're up against. Well, it turns out the McLaren F1 widebody wanted a rematch against the widebody Supra. That is fair enough. I don't mind racing it twice in the same series. It's just when it's all full of unicorns. That's when I'm not overly happy. But there we go. Let's see if we can beat the second F1 widebody. It definitely looks better in orange than it does in white. Can we beat this one, though? Let's jump back inside. Let's get the final race going. Final boss, widebody McLaren F1. Off the line. Very pleased with that. Into second. Oh, God, that's flying off the line. Into third. Must have a better tune on it than last time. Into fourth. Can we beat it? Come on, we need to catch you. Into fifth. I think it's going to pull away. I think this one's got us. What a shame. Losing to the final into a McLaren F1, the widebody. It is what it is. Never mind. We're going to sixth and cross the line. This was probably our worst run. 9.485. Definitely our worst run, and 22.585. Again, our worst run, and we only reached 377. I don't know what went wrong that badly. I may have missed the second or third gear change a little bit, but not too bad of reaction time. So yeah, just a much better built McLaren this time round. 880, only 5 drag rating higher than us. Sadly, we got knocked out. We still got some winnings to collect, not quite the full amount. Let's go find out. So sadly, we didn't win at the last race. We were knocked out by the wide-body McLaren F1, but we still managed to walk away with 5,250, minus our entry fee, technically 4,250. But let's get the Supra back to the garage. Let's get it onto the speeder board if it will make it on there, and then let's get it off to another happy customer. Sadly, we didn't quite get the wide-body Supra onto the speeder board. It came in at 13th in the end out of our 19 cars that we've drag raced. Still pretty good, but not quite up in the top 10s, which is a bit of a shame because it is absolutely awesome. Just before we go back out and say goodbye, I'd just like to announce the winner of the Discord competition was me. Thank you to everyone who voted. I really enjoyed building this car. It was definitely a fun car to work with. And also, thank you for Jackal for all of the bonus parts, especially the spoiler that you created for me. Thank you very much for that. Absolutely awesome. Definitely led to my victory, in my opinion. Looking sweet. I will get this one uploaded to the workshop very soon, so if you want to play with it, you will be able to. But back to today's Supra. Let's get back outside. There she is, looking absolutely beautiful. If I can get this rear trunk open, there we go. Get it all opened up so we can look around it. Absolutely fantastic. Really love this engine. Really love that interior. I just love everything about this one. It has turned out absolutely beautiful. Let's talk some facts and figures about it, though. You'll know that if you stuck around for long enough at the beginning, you'd have known that I bought the car for $58,851 and could sell it there and then for a loss of $1,145, which isn't too bad in all honesty. Looking absolutely beautiful. We since spent $76,836 modifying this car to how you see it today. Painted ready to go with that engine all looking good. The interior all finished off looking beautiful, everything like that. Putting our total spend at 135,687. Can we make a profit from that? Let's take a look. There it is, only 8,224 kilometers. This car might as well be brand new. That is low mileage. All insane. All 100% complete now. And that engine are now up to 1,120 horsepower. A gain of 70%. Definitely a good looking engine. And it's got some power behind it as well. 13th on the speederboard out of 19 cars. Still pretty good. Can we make a profit though? Our spend was 135,687. Yes, and quite a lot of profit. 403,266 is the sale price. Minus what we spent leaves us with a profit of 267,579 plus our winnings from the drag strip of 4,250 minus our fees and all of that. Gives us a total profit of 271,829 from the most beautiful Supra I think I have ever seen. I love this car. Black and white looks so good on it. Very, very pleased, but we do have to say goodbye. So let's get this one sold, collect our profit. Thank you very much. Up into 26 million now. That's pretty good for the virtual mechanic garage. What have we got up next? Well, we were talking about the Fiestas. I finally have one. I finally have, after all this time, if I could get to it, the STRX Ken Block 43 Ford Fiesta. And I've been looking forward to this one for so long. I did get it from the junkyard, which technically it's not available in. I added it my own way so that I could get it from the junkyard. I don't have cars available everywhere. Very specific cars I allowed to be available in certain places, but I'm so pleased we finally got it and we can finally work on it. I've been trying to get this one pretty much since the Fiesta came out, and I moved it straight away so that it could be picked up from the junkyard, but it's the first time I've ever actually seen one in the junkyard or in the bad auction house. Normally they're like 4 or 5 stars and way too good quality. So that's what we're going to be working on next time. Did I get a good deal on it? Not quite, but not bad. 28,954 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 25,988, only losing out on 2,966. What engine is in this beast of a Ken Block's car? It does have the i4 double overhead cam 4-wheel drive engine with 615 factory horsepower. We will be increasing that. Hopefully this is going to be pretty good. It's 4-wheel drive, so it should definitely get some good runs on the drag strip. I cannot wait to build this one proper looking forward to this. It's even got a flashing light in the back there. Look, nicely done. That's it for today's video, though. I do hope you did enjoy today's video. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. There's the winning competition entry still sat out here in the sun, looking absolutely beautiful. But that's it. Yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing this video as far and as wide as you want to. I definitely enjoy making them. If you enjoy watching them, I will continue to do so. I would like to get some more subscribers so we can get this video out to more people, or these videos out to more people so they can see them. But again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a fantastic day. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.